Hi guys, let's start with odd count peyote stitch. A lot of beaders are not so happy when you say the pattern is in odd count peyote stitch. But I will show you that really there is no reason for that. It's just, well, you can sometimes you can cheat a little bit how to make that famous turn in odd count peyote stitch. But in basic, that is really not difficult. Okay, I will show you how to do it. First, place your stopper bead, leave about 6 inches or 15 centimeters of tail. You're going to sew that later into your work. And now the difference between odd and even count peyote stitch is in the number of beads that you're going to pick up in the first row. So, and I said also in that turn what we are going to make at the end of the row. First, let's pick up an odd number of beads. I use Delica 11s. Let's pick up 9 beads. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Slide them down the thread the same as and let them the same like by even count peyote stitch. Let them hang on your stopper bead, don't push. Now take your tail thread between your fingers and the palm, place your beads on your point finger, place your thumb over the beads. Now wrap, so now we are doing a tension move. Wrap the working thread around your point finger and press it with your middle finger. Move your thumb down and expose the beads. Okay, now let's do peyote stitch. So now it's totally the same as even count peyote stitch. Pick up one bead, skip the first bead, and pass through the next bead. How we said, pass with your needle more than a half, then place your thumb over it, release the tension thread and pull the thread. During that, you are pressing the beads. Okay, now what we see, this is what we have. Now, it should be like that, yeah? Now, place your thumb over the beads, do the tension move, so wrap the working thread around your point finger, expose the beads, pick up one bead, skip the next one and pass with your needle through the second one. I will put my thumb now here and I will push the needle and I will take the needle from this side and pull the thread out. Pull. Now tension move. Here we are. Pick up one bead, skip the first one and pass through the next one. I put my thumb on the place where I already add some beads. Now I'm going to push. Now I'm going to release the thread around my point finger, press the beads and pull. Again, first wrap it around your point finger, then release. We said you can manipulate the tension with a stopper bead, so you can push a little bit stopper bead toward your work in order to make those beads more tight between each other. You see how I'm wrap, and another bead, pick up one bead, skip the first one and pass through the next bead. Okay, but now what we have? First, make the tension move. We have one bead more. You're going to pass now through that bead. So we missed in even count peyote stitch, we will have 2 beads more. Now we have 1. Just pass through that bead. You could do that also at once with the previous bead, but I want to go step by step. So, okay, this is what we have. Turn your work, and now pull your tail thread down towards you and wrap and make a tension move, wrap this working thread around your point finger. Okay, now we need one bead here, and now this is the only way, this is the only in the first row you're going to do this on this way. In the next row I will show you we are going to do that on the other way. First pick up one bead, skip this bead where your thread exit, and pass through the next bead. Okay, now we have it. Well, we have it, but I have to adjust it a little bit. Pull this tail thread and okay, but now we have to make a turn and exit through this last added bead. As I said to you when we were working with the even count peyote stitch, in odd count peyote stitch you will have two sides closed. Okay, now what we can do, how we can exit back like this, back through this bead where our thread, where we have to continue with the new row. We can go from this bead where our thread exit, we can go up through the next up bead, but then we can go down through this bead and back through the bead where our thread exit, then through the bead what is below the bead where we should exit, and then up and exit through this bead. You can do that also from this bead down, up, back, down, up. But okay, it's up to you. I'm going to pass through the next up bead. Now I'm going to pass down through the bead below the bead where my thread exits. See? Down. Okay. Now, so I will put it like this. Now I'm going to pass back through the bead we started from. Okay. Then I will pass down through the next, not through the stopper bead, through the next bead. And finally, I will exit back through this last added bead. Okay, now it's easy. Now we are going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 beads in peyote stitch. Pick up one and pass through the next up bead. Pick up one and pass through the next up bead. So this is easy. This is like even count peyote stitch at the end. Pick up one bead, this is the third one, and pass through the next up bead, and this is our fourth bead. Pick up fourth bead and pass through the last up bead. So now this is like turn your work. This is like in even count peyote stitch, how you are always going all over and over again like this. So we have here empty space, and we are going to continue and make a row from this side to that side. Now you see that we have now here two sides with open, we have two open sides. Okay, let's make two closed sides. Pick up one bead, so let's go back and make one row more in peyote stitch. So 2, 3, and now with the fourth bead pass down 2 beads. Okay, turn your work. Pick up 1 bead and pass through this bead from the previous row. And now we are going to make a turn. What is going to happen every time on the same side from now on. So you should pass, in order to exit through this bead, through the last added bead, you should now go from this bead where our thread exit, down through this bead, below that bead where our thread exit, up and pass through the bead below the bead where we should exit, and then finally pass back through the last added bead. Okay, so you can do that at once, depends how stiff you are working. You can pass, you can pass it once, or you can pass one by one. Okay, in my case, I will pass first through the bead below the bead where my thread exits. Take care about the pull the thread tight. We don't want all the time. You see how I'm taking care about the tension, and I always wrap the thread around my point finger. Now my thread exit through this bead. I'm going up through the bead below the bead where I should exit now. Now pass through that one, pull the thread, and finally exit through the last added bead. You see, it's not a big deal. It's just pass through 2 beads more than what. Yeah, okay. In even count pay and stitch, you don't have that, but this is really not a big deal. Okay, let's continue. Let's make more. Now you can practice and work more, make more rows. That means more practicing. You see, because this is the side what is easy, what is like in even count pair stitch. There is no any turn. What is now? Turn your work. And now let's go and do it again. Just add 4 beads in peyote stitch. Second, keep the beads. You see how I'm making all the time that tension move. 1 bead more, and the 4th bead pass through 2 beads at the end, diagonal. Okay, now turn your work, pick up 1 bead and pass here through the bead from the previous row. Here we are. And now let's do that turn, make that turn. I hope I will be able to, yes. So, make that turn, my thread exit through this bead, I go and pass through the bead below that bead, I go up diagonal, I will pull this now, and finally I go up through the last added bead. Sometimes passing through those 2 is not so easy because of your tension, how you were working. So maybe sometimes would be advisable, yeah, to pass bead by bead, just to be sure that you're not going to break your needle. Okay, continue like this. practice this turn, and then in the next lesson I'm going to show you how to do decreasing in odd count peyote stitch. So see you in the next lesson.